I think that's the hardest part about the game. I think the hardest part about the game is what happens between the ears. Like, everybody's big, everybody's physical, everybody's got great athletes at this stage in the game. Everybody's got great coaches, paid a ton of money to go out there and do what they do. But it is about how you handle the mental aspect of the game, the ups and downs that come throughout the season, the ups and downs that come throughout a game. One of the things that I like to think about as an analogy is like Steph Curry, when he's on a cold streak, keeps shooting because he wants to see it go in. And I think the flip side of that is when you keep seeing it rim out, it does something to you as well. And so it's trying to balance how you get back on track when you're not seeing the ball go in. That's one of the more difficult tasks when it comes to playing football.
It's such a top-heavy league, at least that's the perception nationally. Who's on that next tier that you really like as a possible breakthrough?
It's a great question. So Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State would be that top tier. Curious to see what Wisconsin looks like. Year one, Luke Fickell. Same thing with Nebraska, Matt Rule. I think both of those rosters are in a solid spot. Iowa's the one that's the big question mark to me over there in the West. And I don't want to make a judgment until I see the offense in the fall, because they've got new personnel in there, and I think that makes a difference. And they have a directive to be better offensively, and I think that makes a difference. One team that nobody is talking about, and I understand why, but it's a shame, is Maryland. I mean, Leah Tagovailoa, one of the best quarterbacks in the conference, feels like nobody's really having the conversation there. They've developed really well at wide receiver. They had a secondary last year that was pretty good, and I think they're going to be solid again this year. So it would be hard for a Maryland to break through just because of what their schedule looks like. I think they're going to be a good squad. But if I'm looking over there at the West, mentioned Nebraska, Wisconsin, Iowa, I've got questions offensively. I think they're going to be great on defense. And then Minnesota's always the one that I never want to count out, because I think PJ Fleck knows how to coach football. I think he's extremely organized. I think his guys love playing for him, and they're bought into the culture of that program. And as long as they continue that, they're always going to have a chance in the West.
You mentioned Iowa. Do you think Cade McNamara can